Yo, welcome back. This is Stu42 with another Minecraft video. Today I'm gonna move the blood altar from blood magic. I've got a couple of plans as well of what I'm gonna do. This is these 4 stone bits. I've marked out where I'm gonna put it. I'm still a little bit dubious as to where I'm gonna fit everything in, but for now this is sort of as far out of the way as we can. This wall is sort of marking the end of my territory. I could probably expand that way if I wanted to, but for now I'm gonna put it here. This is probably about as close as I want to get to the river, really, and these 4 posts are the furthest, like the tier 6, which I haven't even gotten to yet, but obviously I want to leave room for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run back to the other base. Again, I'm going to spare you guys the boring bits of me breaking apart the old one. Also probably spare you guys a bit of the tediousness of setting up the new one, although I will go over a couple of things. I do have a cunning plan. Ooh, nice rainbow. I do have a cunning plan for how to set this up at the new base with a little bit of a twist. I hope it works out. I haven't tried it at all. I'm just gonna give it a go once I get there. So let me break all this stuff up, and this is including this stuff down here. I'm going to break apart all of the Well of Suffering, dig up all this cursed earth, get everything ready to move this whole thing over to the new base. So bear with me, I'll be back in just a minute once I've demolished all of this. See you in a sec. Woohoo! And here we have our altar already moved across. Everything's set up exactly as it was before. I've just got the slightly extra space left for when we go tier 6. Well, if we go tier 6. This is set up. I've put a little bit of blood in it. You might notice my health's down a bit. This is just because, yeah, I did some self-sacrifice to get to... Oh, and we're losing some LP somewhere. I'm not sure where the LP is draining off to. It's very interesting though. I wonder what that's being used for. Anyway, I can sort that out later. For now, I'm going to show you some other stuff that I've been working on to do with this. So we've got the altar there. And last time we had down here a bit of a spawning room and a ritual Well of Suffering. And also, well, that was it pretty much. Now my plan this time, I've got a second altar here. So this altar has, well, it's got nothing in it. It's just a tier 1 altar with nothing in it. I could potentially, yeah, that'll put some stuff in it. 160, 140, that's actually draining out as well. So I'm not sure where that's draining to, but sure, I can, I'll figure that out at some point. Down here is where we have our ritual all waiting to go. Now I do have the inscription tools, including the dusk one that we need for this. Now I can't remember the exact layout. I will look that up in a second and get that done between this cut and the next one. But downstairs as well, this is where we have the room and the bottom half of the ritual. So I've decided to put the ritual above, the same as before. I've just put plain dirt down, but this dirt will turn into cursed earth once we turn the lights out. Similar thing, we've got the vacuum chest with a pipe that leads, well, I haven't quite hooked it up yet. I'm just going to put a chest there, same as before, at least to begin with anyway. And then we should be able to turn this off. This Well of Suffering will kill the mobs here. It'll pump the, whoops, up one more. So up one more. It'll fill this altar with blood. Now, what I want to do is I want to get a pipe from this altar, run the pipe up here to some tanks maybe just some little tanks to store the blood or LP, and then run another pipe from those up into the bottom of this altar. So the top altar is going to be the main one that I use for doing things. Now, because it's got an augmented capacity, we can see what's in there, but with the tanks here, it should actually add the ability for us to store a bunch of extra LP in the tanks. It'll feed automatically up to there when we're using it, which will just give us a bigger buffer when we're creating stuff. Now we are going to also need, like, one of the things we have in, I really need to hook the elevators up a bit, instead of running all the way back here. So this altar here in the 2nd, 3rd tier, I've got a bunch of these. I've got 16 of these runes of sacrifice. Now they increase the yield of the of the Well of Suffering. So what I'm going to need to do first off is I'm going to need to get this thing going, pump some blood up into this one first of all, and then make some more of these rune stones to replace the sacrifice ones, and then I'll move the sacrificial ones down to the altar underneath, which is the one that's using the Well of Suffering. Hopefully this will all work. I've not tried this at all, but we'll see how well it works anyway. So I'm going to cut again here, and I'm going to fix up the runes on the Well of Suffering. I'm going to exploit a little bug that's here at the moment. So at the moment, these elemental inscription tools have a little bug on them where they don't actually get used up at all. So you can actually use this, it'll get down to nothing like that, and then instead of being all used up, it'll get another little sliver of use out of it, and it'll just keep doing that over and over again. I presume that's a bug. The other thing we could have done is this ritual, Serenity says, cannot place dusk runes. Now we can actually build the next one up that says can place dusk runes, and then another one that can place dusk and dawn runes. So similar to the episode where we made the lava, I could make one of these, some tier 4 demonic slates, 2 dusk tools, and that makes that divining tool. And then what we can do is underneath on the master ritual stone, we could just right click with the divining tool once we set. Like down here, there's a thing that pops up when you shift click to choose which ritual we're going to use, and then you could have just used this and it will paint everything the way it needs to. But for now, in the interest of being quick, I'm going to cheekily exploit that bug just quickly, seeing as it's still there. So I'll be back in just a minute once I have painted these runes with the right colors, and we can turn this on and see if it's actually working the way I expect. So see you in a bit. Okay, all of the stuff is painted using that little exploit. Done all this here, sealed this back up. I'm about ready to go up here, grab our weak activation crystal, make sure that if we use our divination sigil, there we go, current SS 149630, heaps and heaps. So we can now click that, and we should have our nice Well of Suffering running again. Now, the test. Flick the switch. Look at that. Getting killed. Cool. So those things are now taking damage. So check up here. Oh, up one more. And this should now be filling with some blood. Look at that. It is. Now, not very much blood. So this is where we're going to have to start doing our... Oh, it's still getting used up a little bit. So this is where once this gets to 1,000, and what did that use? Yeah, so it used up 50,000. It's using a little bit of our normal network to do the damage, but we're gaining far more back than we're doing. So I can put these arcane stone blocks in here, grab single slates out of it. I'm going to need, 8? So I'm going to need 16 of these in order to finish. There we go, 16 blank slates, because I just need to make some blank blood runes. I'm going to take these ones upstairs and swap them out for... I made an elevator up to the top. Swap them out for these ones, move these ones down to the altar below, which should make it a lot faster. This is, yep, definitely not growing from the stuff down below. So, once again, I'm going to run away. I'm going to make a ton of these slates, let this run for a little while. Oh, down one more. Yeah, you can see the cursed earth starting to grow in there. Yeah, let this sort itself out a little bit more, and I'll be back once we can swap these runes over and see if we can get the speed up. And then we just got to plumb the tanks in, really, and see how that goes. So I'll see you back here in just a minute. Okay, so it looks like the light that I had in there was actually coming from underneath. So down here there was a lamp that I'd left there. Removed that, and now everything's nice and dark in there. The interesting thing that's happened is I happen to be in an area where blitzes can spawn, and because the cursed earth is in the same zone, it seems that every so often I actually get a blitz that spawns in there, which is kind of cool. I mean, I haven't got a blitz rod or anything yet, but you know, I just thought it was kind of interesting. So that's happening. We have our Well of Suffering still. Now, up here, I've put 8 of these runes of sacrifice around here from upstairs. They are working pretty well. I may add another layer out here, so I can go to tier 3. And in fact, I will have to add a tier out there because Look at that. It's full. Now, even though I've added the pipe, it's pumping blood out, or life essence out. But if you look at this, it's only growing at a really tiny rate. There's sort of 5,100 in there. It's not really good. Now, I've had to use the wrench on a few of the connections here to make it look... it's sort of a bit of a Mickey Mouse thing because we need to go upwards, but the tanks only work from top to bottom. I've had to sort of run this crazy arrangement here. That's up to there. I could go like this. That drains it out. Let's actually go upstairs and see. Now there was 1,400 up there. Let's see if there's any more. Oh, I don't know why that is in there. Okay, so there's 0 there. Let's go and turn this on. Jump back up there. So that's interesting. I don't know where that is going. It's not going into there either. So there's something is wrong with my theory of how this is supposed to work. Maybe we can't pump in the bottom of it. Maybe we have to pump up through one of these slots. You know what, which is going to be annoying because it's going to destroy the aesthetics of it. That's okay. No, it's still nothing coming in. Now I'm going to have to... So this current essence there, nothing's going in. Alright, I'm going to have to go and debug this. It looks like it was working really, really well, but it's not quite working as well as we want. The other problem that we have is this is full and the life essence is just not coming out of there fast enough. So luckily the mod has us covered. There's this thing called the Rune of Dislocation. This actually increases the rate that we can pull life essence out by like 20% or something. So I'm going to have to make probably a few of those, 4, maybe even 8 of them, and stack them around this tier here so that we can pump the life essence out a bit faster. But for now, I'm going to run away one last time and see if I can't figure out why... Oh. And now it's feeding in. Interesting. Now I wonder if it goes from the bottom. Yep. Cool, so it does go from the bottom as well. Now, this may just be because of gravity. Like these pipes, when you're pumping uphill, it's not often that great pumping uphill. Yep, still growing. That's cool. 20 at a time as well. So we may need some runes of dislocation around this top one as well in order for it to accept the life essence fast enough as well. So, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, alright. So I might actually end this episode here because the rest of it is pretty easy stuff. Rune of dislocation. Yeah, I'm going to take a while to make some of those. Yep, simple blood runes. Aquasalis we haven't seen before, but this is just the alchemic chemistry set we've used already. Simple catalyst we've made before, and just some plain water. 500 LP, not very expensive at all. So between this episode and next, I will have made a bunch of these runes of dislocation, and we'll get them all sorted out. But for now, this is looking... Yeah, it's still growing. Cool. So this is looking like a pretty good build, and my little theory is proved correct, where we can just, you know, keep this one hidden away, and even then what we can do is we can actually put our blood orb into this one here permanently. So not only does this altar feed the altar up above, it also feeds our main LP network as well, and that way the top altar is free and clear just to be used for general crafting sort of stuff. Well, pretty cool. Everything's all sorted. That's nearly filled in all of its stuff as well. Okay, well, that's it from me for this episode. I'm going to chalk that up to a success. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.